And this next recipient is one of those people, and I count on this person a lot for all kinds of things, whether I want to or not. And we talk all the time, and our husband Nolan is a good friend. Nolan, raise your hand so people can see. That's Jennifer's husband there. And he's just a good dude too. Very quiet, but I just love talking to him, and I appreciate him allowing me and his wife to just live on the phone. I mean, just acting a complete fool. Well, I'm acting, she's just being herself. So, I'm going to pay for that card. Yeah, you are. So I'm going to pay for that one. But Jennifer, again, she ran for the state legislative seat there in Florida. 20 years Navy vet. She's former lieutenant governor. She's a best-selling author. She's an entrepreneur. She's from Trinidadian root. She's just a super person. I'm glad to call her a friend, and so I'm happy to present to Jennifer Carroll as one of our 2016 Black Republican.
That's your tongue tie.
My heart's in the right place. Not in the left place, in the right place.
Thank you, Raynard. And first I want to give honor and thanks to God for making it possible for me to be his child and to be able to be here today. And I want to thank you for taking your time out on a Sunday to come and join us in the celebration of the many trailblazers that you'll be recognizing this afternoon. I do want to say that in my time in the military, at the time I joined in the late 1970s, was not the easiest of times, particularly in the field of aviation maintenance. I was a jet mechanic when I was enlisted, came in at the lowest rank possible, E1, and rose to retire as a lieutenant commander, naval officer in the aviation maintenance field. In the late 70s, the Navy was just opening up that field of aviation maintenance to women. So needless to say, there were a lot of men who didn't look like me, who didn't want women in their Navy. And we heard that all the time for our females. But particularly myself, I was usually one of one, either as an enlisted person or as an officer in the aviation community. So I had to deal with a lot of some racism, a lot of sexism, and I had to endure it being one of one. There was no one else I could turn to say what I was going through, because if I did, I was the one that could not assimilate and get along with everyone else. But during my time in the military, I was able to blaze the trail and create some pathways for other women who would be coming after me, and making it such that it'll be a little bit easier for them to deal with, as well as letting them navigate through the minefield that they would have come through, as well as educating my male counterparts as to how to be respectful of these women in their chosen field. When I left the military, I decided to run for Congress because I saw an opportunity where an individual who was representing the people was not responsive to the people, having one of the poorest districts in the state of Florida, and turning a blind eye to many of people in color that were in need of economic development, social issues that needed to be addressed, educational issues that needed to be addressed, and I wanted to make that difference. However, my party didn't support me in that endeavor because it didn't fit their political agenda at the time, even to the point where the state vice chairman stated publicly to the press that he didn't believe that I should be running and didn't believe that I could win. But I went to him and I said, how can you chop my legs from under my feet before I even get a chance to come out the gate? If the vice chair of the party, of the state party, is chopping me away, how can I get financial backers and people to support me in this endeavor? I went through it anyhow. And as a matter of fact, the Republicans want to claim the successes of George W. Bush in '43 being elected. But had I not been in that race in the 2000 election, he would not have been elected. And I'll share with you. And Raynard talked about my best-selling book and an autobiography. It's titled When You Get There. And I talk about this story, I talk about my life journey coming into this country as an immigrant, assimilating, going through my trials and tribulations. But the one thing that kept me standing steadfast, besides having a loving family and a wonderful support of my husband, was my belief and faith in God. And only that, through some of my most trying times, was I able to stand tall and come flying out in brilliant colors. And that's what we all have to understand and recognize, that we will go through adversities, we will go through challenges, but the bottom line is not to stay in the bottom of where you are. There will be many people that are before you, some will come before you and say they're for you, but they're not for you, as I've experienced. But you still have to recognize that you have a value and a worth that is far beyond any man can even imagine, because God has created you to do great things. You just haven't discovered it yet. It's up to you to be obedient. But going into that 2000 election, with all the challenges, we had a recount. And Florida was one of those places where we had ballots on top of ballots, and dimple chads and hanging chads. And when in my district, part of the district in Duval County, there were 27,000 ballots that were discarded because those 27,000 ballots voted for two presidential candidates. One was Gore and one was Harry Brown. I was running against, my opponent her name was Brown. And when people were being bussed to the polls in many of the precincts in the north side of Jacksonville, they were told, vote Gore, Brown, Gore, Brown. And that's exactly what they did. They voted Gore, Brown. With all the recounts, President Bush won by a little over 500 votes. Had those 27,000 ballots have stayed firm for Gore, we would have had a President Gore. So the Republican Party has a lot to thank me for. When I ran for the State House again, had challenges there from the party. I was a black person running in a district where it had a predominant amount of white people, so therefore I had never held office before. My opponent was a white woman, and she had held office, and even being a chairperson of the school board. And I was being told, well, I wasn't being told, the contributors and supporters are being told, I cannot get elected in a redneck would not vote for a black woman. Yeah. Well, I won with over 80% of the votes in both of the counties that I was running. Every 2 years, I had to run for re-election. I was never opposed in each election thereafter. Why? Because I communicated with my constituents. And even those that were not in my district, I supported them and helped them navigate through the bureaucracy of government. And I was very pleased that I was afforded the opportunity, not only by my God, but by the constituents that elected me, to make some differences in policies that enable black business growth and development in the state of Florida, that help many individuals that have family issues in navigating bureaucracies of the government, and in helping people to mentor them so that they too can create a pathway for themselves to run for office and to be successful. When we are placed in positions where we have authority and when we have a know-it-all, we need to turn around and help someone, bring them up as well. That is your true mark as a person that have been given this space on earth to rent. That is our obligation, our opportunity that God has given us to do. So a trailblazer do not do the challenging task for moments like this. For they know there is a need for pathways to be smoothened and wrongs that need to be made right. And with their perseverance and compassion, they blaze a trail to make it better for others. A trailblazer is humble, not seeking the limelight for recognition. They do the hard work behind the scenes, hoping that one day a change will come. And work and accomplishment of a trailblazer may never be a benefit to that person, but they know others will benefit from the work that they have done. A trailblazer will have holes in their back, scars in their hearts, and scars wailed all over their bodies that are never seen to the naked eye. Yet, the tears in their eyes and a determination to not stay down, for they know the cause is far greater than they. And a trailblazer will get knocked down by the fight, but will rise up again, stronger like the phoenix, to fight another day with the grace and help from God. Dr. King once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversy. Trailblazers at times were alone during many of their challenges and controversies, with no friends or family giving them support or guidance. These trailblazers still fought on, hopefully that one day will make a smoother pathway for others. For they knew, if not them, who? If not now, when? Many will never know or get to meet those trailblazers who have paved the way. So today, I want to congratulate those that are among me being recognized, to say thank you for blazing the trail, being that trailblazer for paving the way. Thank you for fighting the fight when many did not even want to fight for themselves. And thank you for not giving up, giving out, or giving in. And finally, thank you, Reynard, for your vision, for birthing this 4 years ago, to create an event such as this, which takes pause and give public recognition to those unseen trailblazers who may otherwise never receive recognition for the grueling work that they have done to better our future. In your own right, you are blazing the trail forward, and I thank you.